Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live with Janome. I'm Hein. I'm going to wait here for just a moment and then I'll put the camera on. I'm just trying to see if we can get connected. And oh, I can see it. So I'm going to pull that up. I'm also streaming on the Janome Artistic Digitizer Facebook page and the Continental Club page. So hopefully people will let me know if I'm over there as well. I don't know if the comments will come over here, but I do have my comments up. So welcome. And I'll put the camera on in just a moment as I get a last few minute things done here. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll put the camera on. There we are. So hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm so happy to be back. I'm going to turn my air off because it's blowing on my head. I was away on it was like my vacation. So I was on a little staycation and I was just reading Facebook. I wasn't trying to do too many answers. I had some great coverage over on the Janome Artistic Digitizer Facebook page. So that went really well. But I'm really happy to be back. We celebrated our 40th anniversary. So that was a big to do for us. And now everyone's left and gone. Well, they're trying to get home to their own homes. And so our house is all ready for me to get back to work. So that's what I'm doing. I am back to work. So let me see what we have here. All right. All right, good. Well, I don't know. I tried something new this time and I don't know if it's working. I did stream. I'm trying to stream on the other two pages as well. I don't know if it's happening. I would have to go over and change my iPad and check it out. So I don't really want to do that right at this moment. But today it is our zip pouch of the month. This is zip pouch number 6. So we've been working on these since January, and each month, if you're new to the page and to our zip pouch of the month, we do a new zip pouch every month. I show you how to create it in our Artistic Digitizer software. And then we try different skills each month. And I'm going to show you what we've done so far. All the videos are located on this page. And I think everyone except for one has that little front page where I have the zippers on it. For some reason, one day when I was getting ready, I just totally didn't put that up. So I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was in a rush or something. But they're all here. And then I bring them over to the Janome Artistic Digitizer page as well under guides, and they're all grouped together. If there's class notes, I put those there too. Now, I do have a class note page. I'm not finished with it yet, but it will be posted. And then I'll tell you one other thing. I'm going to include a design with it so you can work with that. But I'm going to wait sometime between now and Monday. I'll have that all taken care of as I get things rolling again and get back to work. All right, so let me see what's happening over here. Yes, we had a great anniversary party. It was really fun. And, we had weather here all week. And I was thinking, this is why my mother said, you don't want to have your wedding in the backyard. There might be rain. And I was like, but it's, and my parents are gone. But I was like, oh, I just want a little party. But it did. The sun came out in time for our party and stayed nice until the very end. And that was great. So I was like, phew, that was really fun. So we had a good time. All right, so enough of that. Let me go. I'm going to put my camera on and show you our past pouches. And then I'm going to show you kind of what we're working on today. We're doing pouches of different shapes. Okay, and usually we do like rectangular ones pretty much. So today I want to show you how to create other shapes with using the zipper pouch. Okay, so let me go to the camera and I will start that out. So this is our January one right here. And it was a very simple one. We did do a little bit of an embroidery in the center. It doesn't have any lining, but you can put the little tabs on. So I showed you how to create it, how to get your zipper in there as well. So that was January. And then in February, we got a little more difficult. We decided, we're adding, you could add a D ring or a split ring like this. the zipper, of course, and then there's lining in here. So this one is fully lined. And then I did a little slip pocket on the back. So that video, that's month 2, February. So that's what we did in February. And then in March, I made a giant bag. Let's see if this shows under here. This is the giant bag. Of course, it has the hardware on both sides. I did a split pocket with a little decorative edge on the back. And then inside, I did another pocket that actually is the back of the inside of that pocket is the back of your pouch. So we have zipper covers in there. At least I call them zipper covers or zipper tabs. And then the inside pocket and this nice outside pocket. Now I should go back and remake this one in my Janome fabrics. I'm trying to do all Janome fabrics. So we have those. And then, so we had January, February, March. In April, I decided, people had asked, let's do a pouch with a zip top. Let me see what's going on here because I can't see there we go. Here's our zipper at the top instead of the flat zipper down in here. Again, it's lined. I did do a little slip pocket and I added a snap on there as well, and the hardware. So if you wanted to wear this as a crossbody, you could, or you don't have to put these on if you don't want to. Here's another one. This one I'm so excited. I don't really try to get these in the center, but it did manage to get in the center. So again, it has the zip top. It has the things for crossbody and lining inside there, as well as the little pocket on the back. So that's where we were, April. And then we got into May. And so in May, I decided let's do a zipper up here, and then maybe a zipper on the angle with another pocket. So this one, when you open it up, it is its own lined pocket. So it's just right here. And then we did a little decorative stitching in here. You could do straight line quilting. This has batting in it, so has a little bit more loft to it. These just have the stabilizer in them, but you can also put other things. And then inside is the lining as well. Now this one I didn't put on any hardware. Maybe I would put, I really like those zipper covers, so I'm going to start doing that. I think it helps it lay down on the side better. Sometimes I put tabs on the side. So of course I had to make one in the standard Janome colors. So it does have the pocket down here. This has stitching here, but not in this section. We have the inside up here. I did put the hardware on this one. And then I didn't put a pocket on the back. So that's that. So that gets us up to May. All right, so that was quite a bit. I don't know how many people are working on their pouches, but all of the videos are available either on this page or over on the Janome Artistic Digitizer Facebook group page. And you can take a look at the video. All the instructions are within the video. And sometimes I do have some what I call class notes. They're not really the complete directions because it's very lengthy to write complete directions. So they're sort of like an outline of sorts of directions. So I give you the directions and then typically a stitch order so you know how to stitch it together. So that's where we're at all the way through to May. And now we are in June. And I thought for June that we would do bags of different shapes. So back in December, I did a stocking. This was in 2021, I believe. And then here's the zipper. And I added the fur at the top. And then I just made it one piece back like that. And of course you add that. So this is kind of cute. You can hang this on the tree. And we're not in Christmas, but there you go. This one here, I did this zipper at the top, but I folded, when I went to put it on here, I made a fold, extra fabric, so that it has a little part that's hidden up in here. So your zipper is up inside here, hidden. These I didn't, I only lined the front of this one. Did I line the back? No, I didn't line the back. So I only lined one side. It's not hard to line. If you follow the one for February, it shows you how to put the lining in. Of course, here's another one with that folded piece right there. So this is pretty easy, pretty easy. You make your shape, and I'll talk about shapes. Now, you might want to do ones that maybe in the shape of a circle. And then I added this flower in here. And then in the flower itself, I use the gradient feature to create the light stitching of my design, and then a decorative stitch around the outside. And then on the back side, I have some decorative stitching when I top stitch my zipper. There we go. And I did not line this one. I could line it, but I did not line it. I did use the zipper covers or zipper tabs right here, so you can see those. And then a little piece right there. Okay. Now I do have some stitching here. This was my tack down that I had. I just need to take that out because I hadn't taken that out yet. So there you could do ones such as that. Now coming into today, I do have one I didn't stitch out yet. That's a heart, but I'm going to show you that. This is my circular, my round one. And look at that. I did manage to get this in the center. And I put a little tab on it. This is zipper ends. Let me get under the right part of the camera. These are those zipper ends, and I just laid them on top of each other. I put a piece of double-faced tape in there, so that should hold them together. Sometimes I stitch in there with a decorative stitch, but today I just put a little tape in there. So this is what's left over of your zipper, and then I save all those little things, and then I use them for tabs. I love that. And here you can see I put the zipper covers or zipper tabs. There's my zipper with top stitching. This one is not lined as well. Got some fuzz there. And then inside you can see how all that is right there. So this one, you know, a circle is not hard to do. This one I had to do in 2 sections. So you have to do your embroidery, and then you have to do your zipper part. You can't do it all in one. So on this one, typically what I like to do is do the zipper part separate, and I'll show you that. I have one ready to go. I do the zipper part first and take it out of the hoop. Then I start with this piece, get it all done, and then I lay the zipper piece on top and do the finishing. Then I turn it and all of that. So I will show you that. And it looks kind of like this well, I don't have embroidery on this one. So you can do them just plain. Let me turn it back here so you can see. So I would do the zipper part, it would be laying there, and then I would lay this fabric down and it would finish it off. So this is a very simple one. These make great little gifts. You could put little trinkets in there. You can make them smaller, you can make them larger, however you want. They're very, you know, it's up to you what you want to do with them. I think a little smaller might be cute. So I just have to get that going and see what I can do on that. So let me get that closed up. There we go. So the one I wanted to show you today is this one. Now, you know I love hippos, so I made myself a little hippo pouch. So right back here is the zipper, right here. So you can open it up. This one is fully lined, so I have lining there, lining down in here. So he's fully lined. There he is. I can put my trinkets in there. I did not put any tabs for hardware, any loops. I thought at one point, I did actually put it in my pattern that I was making, a little spot up here to put like a ribbon loop. So if I wanted to hold it on my hand, this might make a cute little crossbody if you put your D rings on by the ears. You can make, I did make it, it does indent here just a little bit. I probably should have trimmed that before I turned it. But so this came out of when we did these stuffies in the hoop. So I'm not sure when we did the stuffy in the hoop, but I took this same pattern and I used most of what's in here, and I created this back piece and then the finishing stitches that I needed to create my whole pouch. So I love this. I think this is really cute. So let me just make sure. Oh, we're doing good. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me show you on this one. I have it done in the hoop. So for this one, I stitched this part first. So let me get it, and I'll move these things out of the way here so I can show you that. Here we go. So in my hoop, I stitched this part here. And this is what it would look like coming out of the hoop. I have my zipper here. I can't open this yet. I'll show you back here. Here's the lining. That's my zipper opening. I will be opening that in just a bit. And then this is the back section. So let me just, we'll bring back the, where did he go? Here we are. We'll bring this back so you can see that this is what fits here. Now, originally, when I did this piece, I made the outline of that and then I cut it around that outline. But because you're going to lay this down like this on top of the front, you really need to mirror image the shape, which I didn't do the first time, but it worked out. But then I thought it's better, let's leave it as a big square rectangle. And then I have a little more room to maneuver it to fit on the back. I don't have to, I had one spot that was very tight. So in fact, I took it apart and put it back together again because I missed a part up here. So I wanted to make sure I got it. So this was the back. Now on the back section, this is Minky or Cuddle. And I did not use, and you can kind of see here, I didn't use any topper so that this part looks, so doesn't lay as nice as it could. But on the front, I did use topper, okay? And I'll show you what that means. So after, let me get this out of the way. After I got this part done, I re-hooped my stabilizer. And I'm just using a, this is actually a wash away. I won't wash it away. I'll just leave it in there. It's fine. Then I hooped that and I put in my, I did a placement line, and then I laid my fabric over that. And on top of my fabric, I laid my topper. This is actually an OESD tear. It's actually an iron away one too, a heat away. And you can tear it off. It's starting to perforate here. And look how nice it comes out when you have topper on there. You don't get any, let's see, this one of these eyes, this eye I didn't quite have topper. So it's a little bit, it kind of, everything kind of sinks in there. So this one you can see it's much nicer on that part of it. So you lay your topper on and it's going to stitch it down just like this and do that part of it. And then it'll do all the other elements. It starts with it does the applique eyes, and then it's supposed to do I think the pink here and then black and then pink here because I had these two different colors. But I just forwarded ahead and did the same pink, went back and did my black. And then all of this outer satin stitching here, those are different colors because of the way I wanted them to stitch. I wanted these to stitch first over here, and then to have this part stitch on top of this end right here. So I would do this one next. And then down here, I need this little piece done and these little pieces done. And then I do these just so I get those little parts covered. So all of this gets stitched. Now I took it out of my machine, but not out of my hoop. There's still a couple sections I have to do to get this finished. Now the first thing I'm going to have to do is take this piece and flip it over and align it on here so that my zipper is in the right place. Now you can kind of see right here, I made these little pieces right here. I had taken the zipper box and laid it across here. And then I used, I selected it and did edit nodes. And I put a node here and said split outline, same thing over here. And so I removed everything. So I just had those two shapes. Those two shapes are where this is going to sit, right in there. And I need to have my zipper covers like right along this edge. Now I could have made a little box, little lines on here too. You can do that as well. But I didn't think I needed it because you can, let me just move this to the center just a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and I would lay this on here. I can open my zipper at this time, but if you just fold this back, you can see where it's going. So I need to move that up maybe a little bit. And then I can look at this side and align that side. There we go. And then I'm just going to peek here to make sure there's my stitch line so I don't have to worry about that. There it is there, and there it is there. Now this piece, I would completely stitch around, all right, and leaving no opening, all right. Then I have to add the lining piece, all right, because it has a lining over here as well as these two linings. So once you get this stitched on, what I want to do is lay my lining right side down, and then it'll do a final stitch with my little opening. You know how I do the opening, and I turn it through through the lining. Once I get it through the lining, I turn it through the zipper. So it's hard to show. I can turn this one back and show you a little bit because it's a little bit trying to get it. There we go. So you can see this is where I turned it down here. So it was all turned this way. Let's see if we can get it turned. And I was going to make a third one and have it partially done, but I have this thing about partial things. I don't know. I have enough of them. So here, so this is where it would be in my hoop. And here's the part that has the zipper. And I would lay that down. It's going to stitch this, leaving this opening right here. Then I turn it through there. And then once I turn it through there, I can, look, those little eyes are peeking out. Doot, doot. That would be a really cute bag, wouldn't it? When you have a zipper and open it up and there's these little eyes peeking out. Genius idea. You never know when that's coming. Watch out for that. Sometimes I get my best ideas when I'm doing something else. So then I'm going to turn it again. And then that turn part, you make it all nice. That turn, the seam is inside here. So you can tuck it all in. You can put a piece of fusible tape down there and fuse it closed, or if you want to try to hand stitch it, you can. I'm not a big hand stitcher, so I'm not going to do that, but I would probably put a little piece of fusible down there or double stick tape to hold it. And then you just push all this out nice, make him look good. So you get all that done. He's not going to look as good now because I have to spend a little time with my poker. Now, one of the things I use to turn this, I use either of these. This is the, I think this is OESD Perfect Turn or something like that. It has the little blunt end down here. This is really nice. And then I've had this a long time. It has the nice end down here for turning corners. And then, you know, if you wanted to press a seam or something, you could use that end as well. So you have, you know, you'll have tools like that. It's best to use something sort of blunt on the end, not the point of your scissors, because that's when you poke a hole in something. And we've all done it at least once. Okay. All right, so here we go. I know this is so adorable. My kids were here and they're adults. They're not really kids anymore, but you know, I come out with my little hippo thing and I'm like, look what I made today. I love it. And they're like, oh, nice, Mom, you know. So there it is. So anyways, this part of it, I'm going to show you a little bit in the software. This is what I wrote some directions for. So I will be posting the directions, and I'm going to give you the draw file for this so you can use this as the start of yours. You may have already done this another time, or maybe you have a stuffy you want to do. So I'm going to put the draw file of the stuffy in there so you can see what I use, because I'm going to talk about it, and I talk about the different parts as I create it. So you'll be able to do yours. Okay. All right. So I'm going to set this carefully aside so that I can put it back on my machine after we're done and finish stitching it. I don't want to put it on just at the moment. That one I need to pay attention to when I'm working. So I have to do that. So let's go back here. And I am going to, so what do you think? Do you think that's going to be fun? I think these bags are really cute. Even that circle one, I think I could make a bunch of those and put little goodies in them and maybe give them to my fellow educators. Or maybe when I go to do an event, I could bring some as gifts. They're really simple, really quick, you know, just a little round shape. And they turn out, so they're easy to turn back out. So I think they're nice. Even if they're unlined, they make a nice one. And I did finish, let me see. I did do a little, you know how I do a little decorative stitch for the finish. I did do that on the inside so you can see. Let's hold that up there. See how I did that little finish? So there you go. So I think this is cute. I mean, we have so many fabrics. You know how much fabric you could use up with this? All those little scraps that you have. How easy would that be? Little ribbons, all kinds of things like that. Lots of fun. And of course, if you wanted to repurpose embroidery, some of us do stitch outs. This is great for repurposing embroidery. Like I created the embroidery on this one, but you could do a repurposed piece for that. Okay. All right. Let me open the software and we will play a little bit and I'll show you. Let me get this open. There we go. All right. So let's go. I'm going to show you over here. I'm in Browse. And I do have my, let's go under devices really quick. So I do have my CM17 on, and of course, look, I can see everything in my machine. So if I wanted to wirelessly connect or send something, I could. But here's I have a USB stick called No Name, and here are my designs right here. So let's do this one first, and then I will show you, so you can see the circle here. I do that all in one because it doesn't have any extra embroidery. And then the heart has two parts because I'm doing a pieced front, like a crazy quilted pieced front, and then the zipper part. So you have to do, typically I would do the zipper, then I would get this all stitched and lay the zipper thing on top of that. And over here, this is my, for my hippo. So here's the front of it, and over here is the back of it on that side. So let's look at the circle one so you can see that, and let me get in close here. So it's hard to tell what's going on, but this is our typical box, zipper box that we've used other times in other places. So I went to one of my other bags and I just borrowed it. And sometimes it doesn't have all the lines that I need, so I add those in. And let's pretend I'm doing that. So I'm going to say, oh, I want this, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to New, and then I'm just going to paste it. Now you can make this as any size you want. I did put it in the center here so that I can see, so this center line, which I don't have a stitch line for, would be my zipper teeth. So I know how far apart my lines are. And when I look at this, let me select it because I copied it, it's going to be grouped. So let's ungroup it. And then over here in my sequence, you can see the first thing that stitches with your zipper is the box. And then this would be your zipper tack down on the upper and the lower. And then these two lines here, this is where I add the zipper tab. And you'll see the zipper tab in other videos that I did. I showed you how to attach your zipper tabs. So you'll be able to, what I do is I lay it right side down. There's about 1.5 inches here and 1.5 inches over here. It sews it, I flip it over, and then I put a little piece of tape over here. Same thing over here. And that's the zipper tape there. So my zipper is in, my tabs are on either side, and now I'm going to add my fabric. So this is attaching the upper fabric. So, and we'll have to go back and look. You put your fabrics so the body of the fabric is laying down here, so it stitches across, and then you flip it up and tape it. This is where you would add lining at the same time. So you'd put your piece, turn your hoop over, put your lining on there, tape it on good, put your front piece on, let it stitch. And I didn't go all the way to the edge. I don't really need to go to the edge. Let it stitch. And then after it stitches, I flip the top one up and I do a straight stitch right here. This straight stitch, and this is my, this is not my draw file, this is my Jeff file, but I would have this as a longer stitch length, like a 3.0 or 3.5. You could use a decorative if you wanted to, but I just sometimes use a straight stitch. Once you get one side done, once you top stitch, you'll put your lining up. You can include the lining in your top stitch if you want. You don't have to. But here I'm attaching my lower fabric, and then I'm top stitching. So now my zipper is all done. Okay, everything is in there, and I'm going to flip back. Let me put the camera on for just a moment because I can show you. Let me find the camera. Here we go. So on my piece here, let me get it. Okay. So far on the piece that we've just done, we've added this fabric, and we have top stitched. And then after I top stitch, I just fold this fabric up. I do not include it in the top. You could, but I don't always include it. And then I would do my bottom fabric together and then flip my bottom fabric down and then top stitch, and then I would finish it. So then once I get to this part, it's all done. And on the hippo, I just made a rectangle to hold it all together, and that was the last thing that stitches, because I'm doing a two pieces. So on my circle one, I'm not going to do, oops, let me go back. I'm not going to do two parts. I'm doing it all in the hoop. Let me get the camera back on the software. There we go. I'm doing it all in the hoop. So the next part is I do have some little lines on this side and this side. This is if you want to put a side tab that sticks out. You know, I had the little zipper ones. I just put those in because sometimes I want them and sometimes I don't. And if I'm not going to use it, I just skip it and I don't use it. But I would lay my zipper tab, the loop part over here and the raw ends over here, and it would stitch over it if I wanted one at this side the same way. And then are we at the end? So that would be my whole zipper. My zipper would be in at this point. So let's make our circle part. Very easy. I'm going to come down here, and in my shapes, I'm going to do the ellipse, and I'm going to select, there we go, click and draw. It's too big, I know. I'm going to select it to get it over here. And then up here, I'm going to undo that a minute, because if you hold down your Shift, Control, and Command, or Shift, Control, Alt, I think those are the ones on a PC, it'll give you a perfect circle. But if you end up without a perfect circle, I think I started with a 5-inch circle. So I'm going to put that at 5, and then I'll make this one at 5. And once I get them both at 5, I'm going to check proportional. That way I don't have to worry about them coming into an oval. Though you could make an oval, it would look just fine. I don't need this inside part, so I am going to, it's selected right here in my used colors. I'm just going to click the X, and that deletes it. And then I'm going to center it using these little arrows here. I'm just going to move it and center it on my piece. There we go. I think we're centered. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. So, and if you have to, you can use your arrow keys to move it, you know, left or right or up and down to get it really perfectly centered. You know, maybe you don't want it centered. That's really up to you. But I did mine centered on there. So this could really be my placement line. Okay, so I would want to move this to the top of my sequence window. So I could right click on it. I could go to order, and I could select back of design, and it's going to move to the top. And I always make sure when I get up here that at the top, I don't use the same colors. I want to make sure I don't have the same colors in my design. And then I'm going to make the other lines that I need. So it's going to give me a placement line, which I'll use a little bit later. Then I'll do my zipper, because I want my zipper in. And then my fabric is all in there now. I've got all my fabric for my back, right? My fabric would be done. And if I had any tabs or loops, those would all be done at this point too. Now I could lay my front fabric. If I'm not doing a embroidered piece, I could lay my front fabric right side down on here. Make sure my zipper's open halfway. You want to make sure you open your zipper halfway. Lay your front fabric on here, and now you need another circle to attach. So I can use that same circle I have selected, and I'm going to do copy paste. And the reason I'm using copy paste is it will put it at the end. If I did duplicate, it would put it right after the first one, and I really don't need it there. I just needed that one to see what's going on. So here's the one down here. Let's change the color. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to actually go to my Janome colors. And I have black already. I have some of those colors already. So let me see. I don't think I have this pale pink. Where's my color? That's orchid. Okay. So I can use this pale pink for that one. So there's my, that's going to be my tack down. of all my fabrics, but I really want it inside a little bit of that placement line. So up here, I can use my percentage, and I just want it a little bit in. So maybe let's say what 95 looks like. So if we do 95, you can see, oh, that's a nice amount. I'm inside just a little bit. I could use my measure tool to measure to see where it is. That's fine. I like that. There it is. So now I could say my thing is finished at this point if I want to. Or I could add that little decorative finishing stitch on the outside part, and I would use, again, the black. So let's copy paste that. And then let's change the color on that to something like, what's this one? Is it gonna give me a color? You're not giving me a color. Okay, so let's use this dark green for that. There we go. All right, and so that one is where I would come to properties and I would find that stitch I like. One of the ones I was using today was number 41, this one here. And I turned the little teeth to the inside. So right here, mirror stitches to the across. They're on the inside. And then you could make them wider. So here, this is your width. So let's look at, I don't know, 3.5 mm. This is where I use millimeters, even though I work in inches. When I'm working with stitch width, it reminds me of my sewing machine, so I work in millimeter. There we go. Maybe it needs to be a little wider. So maybe I could put it at, let's do 5.0 mm. Return, there we go. If I need them closer together, I can change the length here as well, but I like where they are. So that sort of gives me a little finishing look on the edge when I'm all done with my piece. So my round one is done at this point. Now let's do one that's two parts. I'm going to show you this one. So here, you would do the your heart part here. All right. So this one I did include the little piece here, but I would not include it here. I would put it on, I'd either skip it and have it on the other piece. This is a dual piece for me. I might make a plain heart and then I could just use that piece there. But let's go to the front because that's where the fun is, this part here. So I used one of my shapes under Tools, Clip Art Library, Insert Clip Art, and then I think I went to Heart right here, this heart here, and I click and drag. And then this heart itself, this is a satin serial, as you can see over here. I turned it into a running stitch because I really need it as a running stitch. So that's how I created that. I'm just going to put it at the top here so we don't have, let's see if we can there we go. And let's look at my sequence here. So the very first one, there's my placement with that heart. And then I'm going to do like stitch my fabric and flip. So stitch and flip. So this line here, which is a straight line, I put the decorative right on top of it, but this straight line, I would lay both my fabrics a 1/4 inch over this line and the bulk of it over here. It's going to stitch that. I'm going to flip my second top piece over so it would cover wherever this is going to be. And then over here, I would put the other fabric and flip. So it's stitch and flip over there. You could use one whole piece and just put your decorative stitches on it however you want. You don't have to do the way I did it. Then I wanted to hold down all those fabrics I just put on. So again, what did I do? I used my heart and then I used my percentage to increase it. Sometimes with shapes like this, where you have the little part up here, you have to adjust the nodes because when you, let's do that. I'm going to make it, when I go larger, you use a bigger number. So let's say 105, enter. And you can see like on, let's see, where did it go? It should be at the very bottom. Hang on a second. Let me undo what I just did. Oh, there it is. I got that one, and I'm going to, oh, I got to copy paste it, sorry. And then I can change it. So let's do 105, because I'm making it bigger. There we go. So see when around here, how it's nice everywhere around here, but at the point up here will go in. This part that I just made is not as far. So I could come in here, it's selected, go to edit nodes. Let's select it. Come on, select. Oh, it's going to be difficult today. All right, hang on. Let's go here. There we go. And edit nodes. Now it might not give me edit nodes. I might have to convert. So let's go back, select it. Let's go to convert to curves. That gives it its properties. So I'm going to delete that fill. I don't want the fill. I only want an outline. There we go. And I can go to edit nodes. And now I have nodes. So sometimes if you don't get your nodes, you need to give your shape its properties by doing convert to curves. And then I can move these so they're the position I want. So maybe this one here I don't want, so I can delete it. Same here, I'm going to delete this one. Let's get it close here. There we go. You right click on it and delete node. So now it's that distance away that I would like it. So that's how you would add that part when you're doing your copy paste and then you're doing your increase by a percentage. I'm just going to delete that because I don't need it. Here we go. There we go. So once you have this done, you can take this piece that you have done and lay it down, and you would need to add in your final stitches on this. Okay. Or the other way around. So I hope that makes sense how we did that. So let's take a quick look at, let me make sure we're doing okay over here. I think we're doing okay. There we are. I don't think I've lost anybody. All right. So if you're there, just give me a little thumbs up so I make sure we're still connected. I think things are happening. All right, so let's look at this one here. So I'm going to look at this back part first, because this is the part I would do first, and we've seen this stitch out. So I have a placement. Thank you. This is just so I know how big my fabrics have to make it. There's the zipper box. There I am tacking down my zipper, top and bottom. Here I'm adding my zipper tabs or zipper covers. And then over here, I'm sewing my fabric, top fabric and the lining. Then I'm going to move the top fabric and top stitch. Then I'm going to sew the front fabric and the lining. I'm going to move the front fabric down and top stitch. And then I'm going to move my lining down. And once my lining is down, I can do this box. And on my box, this is really a little bit wide. I would bring it in a little closer to where that is. My sides didn't catch, which is fine. I really just wanted the top and bottom to catch. But this holds those loose fabrics. So when you go to place it on top of your finished hippo face, that you don't have all that loose stuff hanging around. So let's go get this part and we'll go through that part. So again, a placement stitch. Then I'm going to lay over that placement on my big piece of cuddle or minky or even just regular cotton fabric, or maybe I have corduroy or some other fabric that I want to make my piece out of. You can do that. And this is going to tack it down. And then it's going to start the pieces here. This is the eye is actually an applique. So it would do a placement. And actually before, I just want to mention, before I sew here, I lay that piece when I'm actually stitching it, I'll lay that topper on there. But this is the applique, and this is the part I'm giving you. I'm giving you all the parts of the hippo. So you would let him stitch out all the way till he gets down here. So he's completely stitched. And then this little piece here, did I go by the, no. This little piece, if you want to put a strap or a loop at the top, this is your placement for that, so you know where to put it, so you can lay your loop in here and then over that line, and then that line stitches it down. So you can have that kind of tacked in place. If you want a loop, it has to lay inside, raw edges outside, the loop on the inside. I did not do a thing on my hippo. I did not want that. Now these are the parts of that zipper box. And let me show you what I did with that. I'm going to just bring over, let me just create a zipper box. All right, so we just do this. And I'm going to delete the red part and just have this part. So I need to split it right here and right here. I need to do split outline. You could use your knife feature as well, but split outline is easy too. Because I created a shape, I do not have the nodes that I need, and I can't click on here and get any nodes. So let me select it again, convert to curves, edit nodes, and now I can click right here, left click, and then right click, split outline. And then to come down here, left click, right click, split outline. I can go to the other side, left click, right click, split outline, left click, right click, split outline. Once I do that, click off of it altogether, go back to select the in part. Let's see, I may have to ungroup, let's see, or break apart. Let's do break apart. And now I can take this little piece, let me zoom back so you can see, and delete it. And I could take this little piece and delete it. Now I just have those little pieces right there. Okay? And you can bring them in so they touch that line. It doesn't matter. It's just so you know where you want to put your zipper across. That's where I wanted it. If I put it in a different spot, I have to make sure I adjust the back piece. I did not think I wanted it right here where this dip is. I think that's a hard place to have a zipper. So I could maybe do a zipper across the ears, or maybe I could run a zipper down this way if I wanted, or maybe across the real fat part here. But I just figured a little bit close to there, but not all the way up there. That's how I did it. And then I had to create some outlines, which I already had from up here, right? That came with it. And I just copy and pasted those, used my percentages to make them bigger. So let's go down the bottom here so we can get to that part. So here's my zipper placement when I place the back. And then this one here is for holding the back to the front. That's where I'm at with mine right now. And once that goes on, I will lay my lining right side down to my backing, and it will do this piece here. And this is that little, remember how I do that little split? So you can do split outline the same way. Let's pretend this is my split outline. I'm going to select that one. Do I get edit nodes? Nope. Let's select it again. Oh, get that, close that. Let's go here. And then convert to curves, and delete that. Let's put an outline here. And then mine is doing that because I think it's raw data. I think that's what's happening. So here we go. I'm going to do edit nodes. And then right here, I'm going to left click, right click, split outline. And then I'm going to go right here and I'm going to do left click, right click. I'm going to do two line, oops, let's put a node there. Add node, and then I'm going to right click on it and make it a cusp. So it's a square. I'm going to delete these because I don't need them. I'll do the same on the other side. I'll grab this, bring it down so it's underneath there, and then I'll take this handle, point it down, take this handle and point it up. And then if I need it to be maybe a little bit over this way, if I like an angle, I could do that too. So see how I did that over here? Let's put that, see this one already has one here. I can right click on it and say cusp node. And then I could take this and bring it down underneath it, realign the arrows. There we go. And now I have, let's select that. Now I would have that little opening if I wanted to do that. Okay. So I do have some directions written on how to do this one because I think this is the harder one. I think doing a circle, definitely try a circle one, definitely try a heart, play around with it a little bit. Just think about, how you did your other pouches. It's the same thing, except now we have a circle in place of that rectangular shape we used in the beginning. All right, I'm going to go back to the camera. Let's see here. Here we go. All right, so let me see if we have any questions. I think we're good. I don't see any questions. All right, if you post them, I always come back later and I'll answer any questions that you have. And as I said, I will be posting this video, I think it's already there, over on the Janome Artistic Digitizer page. And then I'll put the instructions and the draw file of the hippo so that you have that to work with to create your pouch from. Okay, I think you can do it. I know you can, and I can't wait to see what you create. So make sure you post them over there with the shapes that maybe you'll come up with some really cool shapes. Besides a heart and a circle, you could make, a sneaker. You could make maybe a ghost shape or a candy corn, a leaf, all of those things. You could make any of those things into a little zipper pouch. How cute would that be? You could do, I was going to do the half moon one, and you could make that look like, a lemon or a watermelon slice, something like that. You can always do that. Or you can just use up some of your embroideries to use as that cover piece on there. Now, it sounds like I'm getting comments, but I don't see them. Let's see. I'm just looking back. I found another area with my comment. So hopefully if I missed your comment, I will go back later and take a look at that and make any answers that you have. All right, everyone, I'm going to let you go. I didn't go a whole hour. Ooh, that's good. I will be back next week on Thursday. I'm doing, I don't know, I looked at the schedule and then I forgot. So I'm doing something next Thursday right here on the Janome Sewing Machines page. I will try again I'm going to see how it worked today, if I can stream it on the other pages as well. So it'll be something with either Artistic Digitizer. I usually do things with our Digitizer, with our AccuStitch, with anything software, sometimes with the apps as well. So make sure you tune in next week. Can't wait to see you all. It's great to be back. And thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. I know it's a little early, but have a great weekend, everyone. Bye for now.